Alrighty, welcome back to a new year of the Sammy's and Beer podcast, live here on this Thirsty Thursday. That's right, we did not suffer to Y2K again. 24th year in a row, we've made it through Y2K. We are good to go.
I don't even know what that is.
You wouldn't. So, we are here, we are back, we are live. It's 2024. We're damn glad, happy to be the fuck out of 2023. That year was for the birds. We thank you all so much for being here. We've got a great time set up for you all. Some good conversations. Thomas is drinking a Fresca.
It's pineapple soda, you fucking degenerate.
But with me, as always, on the Sammy's and Beer podcast, my name is Matt. My co-host,
Thomas. Now, listen.
is Tomas Rincon.
So, I was in a room today full of adults, and I was the only one born after 9/11, or before 9/11.
Yeah? I don't know what you're getting at.
I just thought that was weird. Is that not weird to you?
There's a lot of young kids out there. I mean, were you really in a room with grown adults?
They are all professional flight medics, so I hope so.
That doesn't make you a grown adult.
They're professional.
There's times where I question whether you're a grown adult.
I don't think I am.
I don't think you are either. I'm just trying to be nice here.
I think I was, and then I regressed. That happened. I had a house.
I don't think you were, because if you were, you can't regress.
Tell me you wouldn't go back. Well, actually, I don't want to compare our childhoods.
Ask me that question.
I don't think I want to.
Please do.
I don't think I want to compare our childhoods. I had a great childhood. No complaints. I love my parents. They did a great job. They did too good of a job.
I will say, so I got a few shots for my advent calendar. One of them, I forgot I drank all the vodka this past week. And so I was like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be drinking whiskey all night. So I was like, oh, I've got a shot. So this is a vanilla vodka screwdriver with a splash of Sprite.
Like a creamsicle.
Kind of. It's actually somewhat tasty. I'm not super mad about it.
I wouldn't be mad. I could only drink one, though, because then I'd vomit my guts out at the second one.
Well, I don't plan on drinking a ton.
I still remember the day your wife made me strawberry Moscow mules. And they were the most incredible things on the planet. Ooh, it's kinky.
I might take another shot of this one.
That's a good one.
I might do two shots. One's probably going to be halfway through, though.
I'm going to hit it a little hard. I got to be up early tomorrow still, but...
Yeah, I do, too. The wife's got the vid, so I have to be up with the kids to get them off to school.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Oof. Sorry. But today...
It's all right. I'm pretty sure my brother had it during the whole funeral process.
Whoa, don't spoil it.
What?
Our viewers don't know, Matt.
Oh, that's true. Sorry.
Yeah, Gabe died.
And my brother was there for some reason. Planning the whole thing.
They had a connection, obviously.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, my brother is about 3 inches taller than I am,
You're average height, right? You're 5'11"?
I'm average. I'm above average for the 1940s census.
Oh, good. Good.
Don't you remember that from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I'm like 5'10", 5'11", somewhere right in there. Yeah. Probably closer to 5'10".
You're average height.
Yeah.
That's what I am. And I consider that average height.
It's weird because you go to some people and I don't feel average, but I also can't imagine if I was shorter. Even 5'8", 2 inches is, you don't think it's a lot, but it's significant.
2 inches is a lot. If anything, it's too much. It's too much.
It's too much. It's just,
It's just too much. The only people who are mad when you say 5'10", 5'11" is average height are short people. So,
Yeah.
sorry.
Do you think, are tall people mad that they're tall?
I think they get upset. So there's a guy that works at a liquor store in town. He has a twin, and they're both probably about 7 feet tall. And I'm not even saying that as an exaggeration. They're fucking huge dudes. But they're skinny, right? They've got like a disease. You can tell. Mm-hmm. And I look at him, and I'm just like, oh, shit. He's like, yeah, I hear it a lot. Like, he's annoyed, probably, because he's customer service, and he's really tall. It's probably he's something he hears from every customer every single day.
Yeah, well, don't be in customer service then.
Yeah, I mean, fair. But imagine being that tall and just being reminded of it every day.
Yeah.
Same for being that short, like being super short. Like, damn, you're a little fella, aren't you?
I think there's different problems that go with being short. Like being tall, like, yeah, you get reminded it might be annoying and stuff. Like fitting into places would be more difficult, but like being short, like going to like a concert or going anywhere in public would fucking suck.
Trying to date. Unless you're a short woman.
Bitches be tripping. Nah, even short women. I mean, look at Shaq's wife. Shaq's wife's like fucking 4'6".
Is she?
She's not tall.
Oh. That poor woman. That poor woman. I assume we're only doing one shot today.
I told you I'm going to probably do one at the beginning. Well, you're free to do whatever you want with your shot. I'm not going to make you do with your shot, but I'm probably going to do another shot halfway through with that key red.
Oh, I'm going to keep taking shots regardless. I passed my exam, but I'm not going to dedicate anything because it should be to the one thing.
Yeah, that's fine. If that's what you want to do.
That's 100%.
Like I said, I'm not going to take your shot and dedicate it to anybody.
No, yeah, it's yours. I'm giving it to you. Here it is.
I actually went just because it was Crown was when my grandparents got married. They took a bottle of Crown and set it aside and waited, and we drank it together at their 50th anniversary.
That's pretty cool.
So that was kind of...
That was definitely expired, by the way, but that's really cool.
Expired? How does whiskey expire?
So if you leave it in the sun for too long, it'll actually go bad.
It wasn't in the sun. It was in a cabinet.
But for 50 years?
Yeah. I mean, it's just aging.
It doesn't age out of the barrel anymore.
I know. It didn't taste that different, but...
Just the fact that they had the mental fortitude to do that. I'd be a year in and be like, nah, never mind. I'd be replacing the same bottle of Crown every day, every week.
I have a bottle that's still in a tuxedo from our wedding. It's a $7.50 a Crown, and I'm going to probably do the same thing, save it for 50 years, and hopefully drink it with my grandkids.
Yeah, I think you'll have grandkids.
So, but to the shot. Just so our viewers know, there was a very unexpected death in my family. My grandfather passed away, his wife passed away 7 months ago. So it was very unexpected, and that's why we weren't here last week, as I was dealing with all that fun stuff again. And that's also a reason I say 2023 was for the fucking birds, because my kids have counted and we were at 5 funerals of close relatives and family. So this shot goes out to my grandfather. He was a hell of a man, and I'm actually we're gonna pick on him a little bit because now I've been able to dissect his life and go through some of the things. He was a hell of a man. Cheers to him. R.I.P.
To the doves. Which, to those of you that don't know, dove is a term used for old people that typically die within a year of each other because they literally can't live apart.
So just because we're right there on the topic, I'm going to just keep going with this. But, now both of my grandparents are gone. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before. The relationship between my grandparents and my parents was non-existent. And so they weren't involved in any of this process. My brother, my sister, and I kind of handled the funeral arrangements, and, we're handling the estate and everything, because that's, We've got an aunt with special needs who me and my brother are now co-parenting, which has been super fun. But going through and finding some of the stuff in their house, like some of it's really cool stuff. Like my grandpa was a police reserve officer for 20 years. I actually found out he was in the Army for 6 years.
Did you ever get that taken care of, by the way?
I didn't, but nobody was really worried about it. He even he started writing his own obituary and didn't have anything about it in there, so he wasn't.
Yeah.
So, we just kind of left it.
Which is fair.
But, some of the cool stuff, we found, like, he's got... Jim Beam, like, did these, like, police cars and then put, like, booze in them years ago, and he's got, like, the full collection of them.
Oh.
Just unique little stuff like that. I don't think they're really worth anything.
They probably are, actually, to the right person, but that's not.
I looked on
them.
eBay and they were like $130.
Not saying you want to sell them, though. You know what I mean?
But then, like, going through and finding some of the weird stuff that they kept records of. So my grandfather got a rain gauge in the 90s, like 1990.
Yeah.
He has detailed records of every rainfall that he's taken out of that rain gauge since 1990.
Some meteorologist out there would fucking love to see that.
It's bonkers.
You should post that on Reddit.
Detailed information, like, of everything. And, like, they wrote things in so many different places multiple times. Like, he would go through, he's got budgets that they would have, which they balance their checkbook, like, weekly.
Smart.
And did all this stuff. But then he went through and hand wrote what their bills were for the month.
Was it like $50, $100?
Yeah, like, they were just stupid stuff. And then the truly funny part is they actually had a file about my parents and, like, rent that was owed on, because they bought the house that we grew up in, and, like, rent that was owed and rent that was paid and all this stuff, and, like, all these emails and shit. Like, they printed off these emails and put them in a file.
Okay.
I was kind of like, this is a little, like, you're just really throwing the nail on the coffin at the end here. Like, when they go through and look at this stuff, they're going to find these emails.
He fucking thought about that, too. He was like, they're going to see it.
They had to have. Like, there's no way that they didn't prepare. I'm like, that's a little petty.
I live for it.
They had totals and, like, we're adding interest on to, like, what my parents owed them in money and shit.
I love that.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
I mean, it is what it is.
It's funny stuff.
Did you find anything creepy?
No, nothing too creepy other than, like, I had to clear browser histories. Let's just say that. I cleared browser histories. I didn't want to know what they were searching.
At least you were the homie about it.
No. So.
Bondage for old people.
I couldn't tell you. I just cleared it.
There's a website for it, I guarantee you.
Oh, I guarantee there is, but...
That's nasty.
There's a website for just about everything.
Damn straight. No, that's interesting. It is weird to hear about, because I'm sure I'll be there within the next decade.
Well, luckily for you, you'll have your parents that will be the ones that have to take care of it.
Yes, thankfully.
You'll be there, but they should be the ones handling it. And that's the other, like, if I give you any advice on it, is, like, talk to your family about, like, some of that stuff that they want done.
Oh,
because, like, writing an obituary is super weird.
We have wills already.
But how much of a will do you have? Like, do you have, like, specifics of where you want stuff to go, or is it just,
all of my stuff besides a couple things are sorted out to my mom. Everything else that's specific is sorted out to individual people.
Okay, there you go.
But I have to do that. I have to do that.
My grandparents didn't do that. Like, they have like a trust, and then like it's basically just money is allocated. Like, so much of the estate goes here, so much goes here, so much goes here, so much goes here.
Your standard package.
But like individual things within the house, none of it is accounted for, you know.
Which is when you get opened up to stealing.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
I have members of my family that I know would in a heartbeat. They'll take the copper wire out of a fucking microwave. You give them a chance.
well,
So, we're very sorted. Even my grandparents right now, we have very specific things. Like, I'm getting a Black Rooster cookie jar that I grew up eating cookies out of. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
My grandma asked us maybe 3 or 4 years ago, what's one thing you would want? And we all picked one thing. That's not something, it's expensive or crazy. It's just sentimental value. I want to have that rooster.
mm-hmm.
Looks like it's a piece of shit. I tell you what, but it means a lot to me. My mom wants my grandpa's knife. He has this big carving knife. He's had it for every Thanksgiving. So it's just little things. But we're pretty sorted out. Even my parents are sorted out too.
With your dad in the military, I'm sure he's pretty sorted.
We have to be. We didn't really have a choice.
So, yeah. But there's a lot of things that can save you. Because, like, if you don't have, like, a living trust set up, even if you just have a will and not a living trust, like, your family, like, if you own a house, your family has to then go to probate court and, like, pay money to get your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, there are little things that you don't think about that are a big deal.
People try to take advantage.
You know,
when I die, someone gets $500,000.
People, you mean the government?
The government, yeah.
Government tries to take advantage.
The government's run by people.
Yeah,
it's not a faceless entity. I know some of them motherfuckers.
It's kind of a faceless entity.
It tries to be, to not put the blame onto a faceless enemy. But if you put it on the faces, it means more. Put it on faces.
That's because they're assholes.
We had someone who gave a speech today at work about politics, and it came to a point where one of our captains stood up. He's like, "We're done."
Like, was it somebody lower?
No.
Oh, so it was like higher than the captain?
Yep. Well, no, technically enlisted can never be higher than an officer, but it was very high on the enlisted pay scale.
Gotcha.
And so it happens. But it happens. People get really passionate about things they believe in. We've had members.
Oh, yeah.
We had members when Trump got voted into office leave the military like that day. It's just like, bro, come on. I just fucking work here, man.
Right?
Jesus Christ. I'm here to do my job, and I love my job, so I do. I love my job. It's one of those cool things you get to say. So we were going to talk about the new year.
Yeah.
And what it's done for us. I don't think I progressed much this year. I did emotionally, not
well, that's progressing.
Or physically. I lost weight. That's good.
It's good.
But other than that, I don't know. I got to take a really cool camping trip.
Yeah, where'd you go camping?
Where did I go camping at? I don't remember.
No?
Real uneventful trip.
Yeah, that happens. Some of those are out there.
And she's super excited for our next one.
Me too.
Ugh. I apologize. I am pretty beat. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was a rough year looking back on it, just with, you know, I lost 2 of my grandparents. My wife's grandma passed away. It wasn't this year that he passed away, but a really good friend of mine, Brad Sparks, we went to his service this year. And then my wife's great uncle passed away, who was a super nice guy. She was pretty close to him. So we were actually like part of the family, you know, like having to like be a part of the funeral 4 times this year. Which
a lot, dude.
It was. My kids are even like, 2023 sucked. Like, yeah, it kind of did.
Dad.
Yeah. And, it's kind of weird. Like, I'm, getting a little bit older, and you probably are too, but at some point, like, we're going to be the oldest people in our families.
I don't want to.
Like, and that's
I'm gonna
weird.
die. I'm gonna die.
It's a weird thing to think about.
I'm gonna die before that happens.
Well, I mean, and I might never. I've got an older brother, so I might never be the oldest in the family. But at what family? I mean, like, it's intense. Especially now, I don't have any grandfathers left.
It's a weird thing to say, huh?
It is. It's a really weird thing to say, especially because I thought my grandpa that just passed away, I figured he was going to be around for a while.
I figured at least 8 to 10 more years.
Yeah, I mean, he was young, he was healthy, working out at a golf course. I mean, he was working out at the golf course until they closed it for the year, and doing that 2-3 days a week. So he wasn't a frail old man that had been in and out of the hospital.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it happens.
Yeah. Well, and from what I was told, it might be kind of a blessing, because with the blood clot that he had in his leg, they were talking about possibly having to amputate his foot.
Whew.
And he would not have done well with that.
That would have been something. Get him a robot foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I see people that are in their 90s that have been in and out of the doctor's office since their 40s.
Yeah.
They're still just hanging on by a goddamn thread. I don't understand it. I don't know how. But whatever. Positive things happened, I'm sure. It's hard to think of the positive when you're surrounded by a lot of negative all at once.
Yeah, I mean, there was a ton of good stuff. I mean,
Lincoln got second place in his wrestling championship.
Yeah, wrestling championship or wrestling tournament.
No,
they're signed up for.
It's going to keep going up. It's going to be this.
They're signed up for 2 more tournaments. I got both of them in now.
It's going to be the regional tournament, and then next year it's going to be the state tournament, and it's going to be the national tournament. The story of Lincoln's second place is going to keep going up every time I tell it.
I went to actually wrestle them. There was supposed to be a tournament in a small town. Well, not a small town, but like kind of a suburb of Sioux Falls this weekend. And it said max of 500 kids, and it's on Sunday. I went to register them tonight, and it was full.
Bam. You're in the Midwest, though. Like that's a Midwestern sport. You do it inside. I guess.
Yeah. You can wrestle inside anywhere.
I know, but it's cold.
Yeah.
You have to find things to do inside when you live up there.
Yeah, I've been going for a walk every day.
It's different. It's not playing. You don't have to plow the field and worry about kids playing in the cold, and it's just easier to do indoor sports.
I think my niece is going to Kansas City to play soccer, either this weekend or next weekend.
Turf soccer,
and it's supposed to be
rocks.
It's supposed to be like 42 degrees out. They're playing outside.
Ooh, well, I've done that. We put shovels on the turf. It was an outside turf field because coach said if the field wasn't plowed, we couldn't play our game. So both teams were busting our asses, taking the snow off the field.
I wouldn't work that hard to go play soccer.
I liked it. It was the one thing I had going for me back then.
Yeah.
Because I definitely wasn't good at school, I'll tell you what.
I will say I won 2023. I did really expand my coaching knowledge. I took my first head coaching position and plan to keep that going. So that was a good thing for the year.
We did lose Captain Raymond Holt.
We did. I'm trying to be positive about things here and like talk about things that we did that were good for the year. You got a kick-ass job that you really enjoy.
I love my job. I love it every day. I love going in. I'm blessed. I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. Had a great Christmas. My birthday's coming up.
I did not have a great Christmas.
Yeah, you didn't.
Probably the worst. It's kind of weird now because I'm like, that's gonna probably like scar my kids' Christmas for the rest of their lives.
It's just the worst Christmas they've had so far. You have the opportunity to make a worse one.
Thanks.
You have your opportunities ahead of you to do worse.
Yeah.
You can always go down from here. Don't forget. Everyone's like, you can always go up from here. You can also still fucking go down.
Yeah.
There are bad things that can happen. Everybody forgets. I don't know, man. It's just, this feels like I'm a college kid taking a gap year traveling Europe. Like, I feel like I didn't fucking accomplish much.
I think some of those times in your life when you don't feel like you've like accomplished much are the years that you accomplish the most. Like spiritually and emotionally, and
I grew a lot as a person this last year.
you know,
I can look back on the idiot I was. I stopped drinking as much too. I quite literally only drink when we do this, sometimes on the weekends with my girlfriend. But even then, I'm like, no, I'm good.
we drank a shit ton during
COVID
and after the funeral.
Oh,
Huh?
Oh, I thought you said
No.
me and you. Like, we did.
Oh yeah, well we did that too. We did a lot of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. I bet you did though.
We had a drinking problem.
Had.
Yeah. I said had.
I'm
Those
actually
are the words that I used.
I'm really proud of myself being able to be around people, taking shots, having a good time, and being like, "I'm good. Maybe I have a beer or two," and then stop. Like, it's awesome.
We can do like a shot, you know, like we did a shot
We're
for my grandpa,
We're working our way there.
but you don't have to do multiple shots.
That's taking the shots is where it gets a little tough for me. That's the line. Beers and stuff, I can drink a case and whatever. But shots is where I start to get a little dicey.
Yeah. It's where we all get a little dicey.
Yeah, that's fair. I've learned that too. I'm not that special. Everyone has the same problems. Like, yeah, self-reflection. What do you?
1 year down,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I still
Totally fucking love you. It was from our first anniversary.
Oh, that's cute.
I have a glass that's like the same thing, whiskey glass.
Sweet.
She's sweet.
I had to buy my brother shot glasses because apparently he didn't have any at his house, and it upset me.
I have a shit ton of shot glasses for your wife.
Ooh, she'll love that.
So that bar that did I tell you about the bar, the trailer park closed down?
Yeah, you said something about it.
It shut down, and I stole a bunch of glasses, and there was cases of shot glasses that I stole for your wife. One from each, like a bunch of different shot glasses. So it's like a lot.
Okay, I was gonna say she doesn't like want just plain shot glasses.
No.
Like she wants from different places.
They're like
or different type.
they're different wordings and types, and like they're brand shot
Yeah.
glasses. Like this one's Jaeger, this one's fucking
Yeah, she'd like that.
yeah. It's just something cool, and I saw them; they were free, and I was like, "Oh, Brittany would like this." Threw them in a box, took them out.
Yep.
And 3 kegs, took those too. So they're 1/6 kegs. They're 1/6 kegs.
Huh?
They're only 1/6. Yeah. It's like 3
So-
2 cases, 3 cases.
Pony kegs.
Yeah, they're just.
I don't even think they're ponies.
I have 3 of them, so like I can get the thing with me is like for a barbecue, I can fill up 2 and have 2 different kinds of beer, right? Have a light beer and have like a lager, like have a heavier beer, so people can choose, so that everyone's not just drinking Bud Light out of a fucking huge ass keg.
We did do that over Christmas. I'm excited to do it with you at some point.
Oh, with the trying the different beers.
Trying different beers. Yep. Because we were gonna do it when we were camping, but and it wasn't too expensive. We just went to the gas station and bought individual beers, and they were like $3 a piece.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll happily do it.
You
And
know.
I'll tell you. You'll be like, "There's no way you're getting these fucking right now." I'm like,
You're not going to.
I am.
You're not.
I am. I'm gonna
The
get
only one-
at least half right.
I got 1 right out of 6. And you know which one I got right? Modelo. It's because it was garbage.
I don't like Modelo either.
It was terrible.
It's not the greatest.
But it was terrible in a different way than the others were terrible.
I know for a fact I can do Bud Light, Coors, and Dos Equis. If you get those 3 and then mix in 3 more, I can guarantee to get half.
I don't think you can.
I think I can.
You can.
Just you watch and learn. You watch
Okay.
and learn. I tried drinking coffee today
Why?
because it was there and I was really tired.
Okay, that helps.
I slammed like 2 cups of coffee back to back, and I almost threw up. That shit's disgusting.
What, did you put anything with it?
No.
Drink it with cream and sugar.
I might be lactose intolerant.
So drink it with sugar.
I didn't think about that.
Sugar's actually, I mean, like, coffee can be good if you add a shit ton of sugar with it.
Really?
It's actually really good.
I don't know. I gotta try it. I
It's
just did it
just
for the
not. It's
results.
just not good for you.
Coffee's
You're
okay for you. It's middle of the line.
It's
better than soda.
yeah, but like, yeah. Technically, they say if you get up every morning and if you had the choice between a cup of juice and a cup of coffee, you're better off drinking the coffee every day
Yeah.
because of the citrus and things like that. But you can't tell me that drinking coffee is better for you than drinking orange juice.
Okay, so in the same vein, eating grapes is as much sugar as eating a Hershey's chocolate bar.
Yeah,
But don't teach kids that.
but they're not the same thing though.
Yeah.
Like the sugars are not the same.
They're not the same kind of sugars. Like, there's always that, like, oh, one's better than the other. It's all bad for you. It's all bad for you.
No, eating grapes is not bad for you.
Oh, listen, I can't remember the last time I ate a fruit. So, actually,
I'm well aware.
it was 2 days ago. I had a slice of watermelon.
I'm not gonna lie, I asked my wife the same question and she couldn't tell you either. And then like 20 minutes later she looks at me and she goes, I had grapes like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, cool.
But there's 2 kinds of adults: the kinds that eat fruit all the time, and the kinds that can't tell you the last time they ate a fruit.
Well, I at least have a good reason on why I tell you I
do,
can't eat
you do.
the last time I ate fruit.
You do have a good reason.
I think I'm gonna start buying like fruit cups and eat like mandarin oranges and like those because I can eat those.
It's something.
Because I mean it's something.
My dad eats those, actually. He loves them, some bitches.
I bet he does. That seems like a military thing.
I think it is.
His fruit cups, I bet like
And he doesn't get a spoon or nothing. He's just like chewing it.
Yep.
And, he don't give a fuck. And he loves
I wouldn't
them
be
bitches.
I wouldn't be surprised if he eats the fucking plastic off of it with it.
Did I ever-
nothing left behind.
Did I ever tell you about my dad and Fun Dip?
No.
So my
Does
dad.
he snort it?
No, my dad is the only motherfucker I know that prefers the stick opposed to the powder. And so growing up, I always had a fucking blue finger or red finger because there was
he ate the stick and you got the
never
powder?
any sticks. There was never any fucking sticks in the candy. He would Halloween, he'd tear them all open and take all the sticks with him and eat them. He also loved the banana runs.
He can have all of those.
Which was perfect for us growing up. And I still to this day believe that he
It's
didn't.
like yellow skin.
Like, I believe that he didn't like them, but he did it.
But he
So we, had candy, and now he's just like, well, fuck. I guess everyone's gonna give me yellow runts now. I have a lot of really cool memories with my dad. I don't know why.
That's awesome.
I don't know what caused me to start thinking about that, but like I have funny memories with both my parents. But my dad was definitely goofier than my mom. So I have just like the stupidest memories with my dad.
Did you ever think that your mom allowed your dad to be goofy?
I didn't. I never really thought about that.
Well, I'm saying now.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, the reason your dad was able to be goofy was because your mom was the constant parent, the rules, the everything.
No, she was.
And your dad got to come in and be fun.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Like
and I still have really fun memories with my mom. My mom's the one who taught me who showed me that dancing in public was okay.
it's not.
It totally is. I don't give a fuck.
Dancing anywhere is not
I
okay.
embarrass the shit out of Holly all the time. But just be okay with being goofy and bringing your mood up, because fuck everybody else.
Oh, I agree with that.
But my dad, I have a memory with Carlos specifically. You know those Pearl Snap shirts that look like they're button downs, but they pop open? Well, my dad wasn't wearing an undershirt, and this was after he'd gained some weight, and his hair is like he's a hairy guy. We were at Walmart, and Carlos just rolls up behind them all sneakily and just fucking pops them open in front of like a family. He's just trying to get it all buttoned back. Just little stuff like that stuck with me.
Yeah.
Been reminiscing with my family about family stuff, like when Junior burned his eyebrows off trying to grill in Nebraska for the first time.
It'll happen.
Turned the gas on, left it going with the lid closed, came back like 5 minutes later, opened the lid and lit it.
Who does that?
Junior, because he's an idiot.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
He was also like 15, but yeah.
That's still stupid. I don't care how old you are. Stupid is stupid.
So my mom was over the kitchen sink cutting his eyelashes and eyebrows because they were burned.
I mean, like, I was stupid, and we had a bonfire. I was trying to get a bonfire going in my driveway, and it wasn't going, so I went and grabbed gas, and it was kind of going, and I poured gas on it, and the gas flew up the gas can, and I lit my driveway on fire. And I sat there with a hose for the next 20 minutes spraying it while it still flamed because it wouldn't go out.
You got to sand it, dude.
That's how we ended up getting it out. My wife tried to pour flour on it, which apparently flour is
even worse. That's an accelerant.
Yeah. Yep, I guess. We now have a fire extinguisher.
I have a question for you. I have a hypothetical question. So,
Yes.
we talked about this at work. You get plopped in the middle of a small town, say population 2,000, during a zombie apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
You were dropped there by a government organization. They look at you and they show you proof that your family is fine. They are taken care of. But they need you to survive there until they come get you. So no matter what happens, whatever you do, your family's still fine. Everyone you know and love, they're fine. But you have to do this. How long do you think you could go? You're dropped with a backpack, a baseball bat, a knife, and like basic supplies, a machete, 2 days worth of food.
There's a lot of factors with that.
There is. Like, but how long?
How many zombies
2,000?
are there? There's the 2,000 people in this town.
Yep.
And that's all I have to fight?
It's a lot of people.
That's really not.
Really, 10 people is a lot of people.
Yeah, if I have to fight them all at once, I don't have to fight them all at once.
You don't.
I mean, theoretically, more than half are going to be probably in their house.
How many left their ovens on? Like,
yeah, so they burned themselves to death?
I'm just asking, how long do you think you can go?
I think I could survive until I got sick and died of old age.
So indefinitely.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a...
Indefinitely was my answer as well. The only thing stopping me is the ability to grow my own food.
Which you can do that pretty easily.
You can. You know how. I don't have that experience or expertise at all.
You'd go find... There's going to be a library in this small town. You're going to be able to go read books, especially if the whole town's turned. And all you have to do is, like, I mean, basically at that point, you're setting up... There's going to be a grocery store, so you're going to be set on food for probably a year or two minimum with canned foods and perishables and stuff. Yeah, the first few days are going to be rough, and you're going to have to do some fighting to clear out some open areas. But after that, I mean, unless you're talking like perpetual different things and you're throwing different scenarios in, like just a town of 2,000, like I don't see an issue with it.
Now you can take one person with you that you know personally. Mm-hmm. Who are you taking?
Probably you, just because your medical background.
I'd take you because you know how to grow food.
You know, I mean,
it's a thing. But it also goes deeper than that. Is that I trust you. If you're yelling, "Oh shit," then I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like,
yeah, like there's definitely. I mean, because my brother's a thought,
same,
but him and I have very similar skill sets. Hmm. You know,
I thought about
just
Carlos.
probably just as you and your brother. Carlos would be a good choice.
Well, he would.
My sister's a nurse.
He would until his glasses break.
Yeah,
Carlos is because like I can survive without my glasses, right? I can see. I just can't see super far away, so maybe I need a set of binoculars. But for the most part, I can see fine. So that's not a huge hindrance. But if Carlos breaks his glasses, he's a liability at that point.
Yeah. See, I just have one bad eye. My other one's good, so I'll just be a pirate.
Give you an eye patch. It's perfect.
Yep.
And then I thought about Gabe too, of course, right? But it's the same vein in that we have a very similar set of skills. So,
well, that and do you want? I mean, can he reach the brain of the zombies?
Can he get?
Like,
We can't make
let's be
fun of him
honest.
when he's not here.
But between the three of us, I'm a way better shot.
Actually, if it's only about marksmanship, I'm taking your wife, dude.
Well, yeah.
You should too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But yeah.
I need to work on my marksmanship, actually.
I mean, because if you think about it, like if you've got 2,000 zombies, if you kill let's say you killed 10 zombies a day, which I don't think 10 zombies a day would be hard.
That's a lot of work.
To kill 10?
I think so.
I don't think so. With a baseball bat?
I think it'd surprise you.
I don't think it would. I think you do not know how well I know how to swing a baseball bat.
That's fair. I think my elbow would hurt.
If your elbow hurts, you're doing something wrong.
Probably. I'm not good at baseball. Okay. So we're still adding more, right? This is an evolving thing. We actually talked about this at work for about 4 hours.
Okay.
And I have someone at work who's really into hypothetical questions, so he asks like so that's where this stuff comes from. So his questioning stuff. You can bring one weapon with you. What are you bringing?
A weapon of any kind?
Any kind.
Crossbow.
Same.
Like, how would you not bring a crossbow?
Exactly. You can make more arrows.
You can make, they're called bolts. Arrows are for bows. A crossbow shoots bolts. But yes, you can make more bolts. And
it's quieter than a gun. It's compactable.
It's quieter and it's a lot. I mean, it's got good range. It's easier to shoot than a bow and arrow. Yeah.
See, this is why I can't ask you these questions, because I have the same answers.
Because I mean, like, if you're talking like just a melee weapon, like it would probably be like an axe.
Like a woodsman's axe?
Yeah, like a fireman's axe, or, like a broadside on one side and an axe on the other, because you can cut things, you can fillet things, but you've also got a hammer on the other side.
Oh, yeah. No, I get the thought process.
So...
It's a good one. There's just so many ways this could go, and it makes me want to, like, do that, right? Like,
be it Survivors of the Apocalypse?
Yeah. But it has to come with that caveat of your family's fine.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. Because otherwise, I'm not going to stay in this town. I'm going to go back to my family.
Yeah, I'm going to find my family. That's end of the day. So you have to put that caveat in there, because if not, your priorities just change.
Oh, 100%.
Which is a good thing. It's a great thing, but I don't know. I really want a good survival game, and I was so excited for that zombie game coming out. The
one that came out and died
after a week.
Could you imagine that? Like, I feel bad for the people that bought the game, but I feel super bad for the people that spent years developing it to have to shut it down after a week.
That is it's embarrassing.
I wouldn't even care about the embarrassing factor. Just like, you put years of work into something, and then just to have it fail so epically.
I think it was I think it was the biggest fail of gaming.
Maybe.
I think it was, because we have really big fails within the last few years. Like, No Man's Sky was a flop. Anthem was a flop. No Man's Sky redeemed themselves. Cyberpunk redeemed themselves, right? Like, all these games bring it back. They didn't even get the chance to bring it back. Like, Anthem had the chance, they didn't bring it back. These guys didn't even get the chance. They were done within a week.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Talking out of both sides of my mouth here, but I also don't understand, like, why they lied about the game so much.
I don't know either.
Like, they were talking so much about it being different than what it was. And maybe it wasn't them. Maybe it was just things got leaked and they showed it to the wrong person. But I don't know. You can't think that stuff's got to be, like, super hard to get the marketing team
on board.
Like, there's so many people that want to fucking do marketing and shit. And, like, how did somebody do that fucking bad of a job
Drop
with it?
the ball that hard.
It's
ridiculous. But it's still me over here waiting for a game like that to be released. The closest we have is No One Survived, which got a huge update. Bunch of melee weapons added. Super excited. It's like a fucking indie Chinese game.
Yeah.
And they've come out and said like most of their assets were bought for on the Unreal Engine 5. Like they bought their assets. They're not even ashamed of it. They're like, fuck yeah, we're not going to put all this time and effort into something like this. We're going to put our time and effort into adding stuff to the game.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Like, okay. And it's one of the best games that we've played this year, I think. And it's the gift that keeps giving.
Definitely. No, I would say the best game that we've played this year is super fucking weird to say, but the Fortnite Lego.
It was really good.
That's the best game we have played this year.
It was really
by
good.
far. Like they did an amazing job with that.
And there's not much in it. When you think about it, there's really
It's
not
so
much
basic.
in it.
They have so much room for improvement. So many different ways that they can go, but that game is such a solid crafting fighting game.
If they came out with more stuff and they asked for like $15, right? Like say they triple the content, ask for $15, I'd pay it. I'd pay it in a heartbeat.
But they won't. Like they are so smart about it because they'll get people just to buy skins and buy this other stuff and keep their player base high.
They do keep, and that's how they do it. Like with the Guitar Hero, is it fun? But it's cool.
You know, it would be fun if I actually had a guitar and I could play it with that.
Just wait. Fortnite came out with Nerf guns. You think they're not going to come out with a guitar controller? Give them a couple months. Give them a couple months. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean?
Oh, I guarantee. Yeah. I was at a local Last Stop CD shop looking to see how much guitars and stuff were that I could plug in.
They're pretty expensive.
And I don't know if you can plug in like the PlayStation or the Xbox ones to your computer.
Maybe the Xbox ones.
I don't know.
Holly has the PlayStation 2 Guitar Hero with the guitars that work.
Well, and have you heard all the drama going on with PlayStation?
No.
PlayStation is like... People are pulling a lot of shit from PlayStation. And like, if you bought games and stuff, like they're getting pulled from your PlayStation. And you no longer have the game.
I did see that for movies too, movies and TV shows.
Movies as well. Yeah. Like from the PlayStation store, like PlayStation is looking like it's going down.
That's not good. Which is funny because they won the console war this year.
Yeah.
They had the better console.
Well, I think they're going to lose it now this year. Let's just say that none of that happened. Xbox did the smartest thing they've ever done with their cloud gaming and hooking up to the Quest 3 and being able, like, that's fucking genius.
They just integrated that. And when you've been able to do that for a while with your phone or, anything.
Yeah.
But fuck, you're right, that is genius.
But adding a headset in, like, as a parent, like, so I don't have to have my kids have a TV. I can just put them both in a room with headsets. And I forgot, like, we went for New Year's Eve, we were over at my brother's, and his family had never played on a headset, on a VR. And I brought our VR over, and everybody was having a riot with it.
Oh, it's a fun thing.
Boxing and then just doing the simple stuff like riding a roller coaster. My kids have been sweating their asses off trying to box online, which is the funny thing to fucking see. Like,
we have a video of my mom doing it.
I'm amazed how intimidated people get doing it.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm like, this is fake. Like, why are you like? One of my nieces would not do it. Like, she took it off and was like, nope, I'm not fighting that person. That's not happening. I'm like, this is a video game.
My nephews were doing the monkey tag for the last week.
Gorilla tag.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, they would not stop with that. And they got good.
Yeah.
I saw videos of them like fucking juking just with their hands. Like, it was weird. They hit so many things with their controllers, though. They hit the Christmas tree. They hit their hands on everything.
Yeah, and you create those safe zones, but they don't fucking work.
Yeah, they don't care either. The kids
like... But and that's the hard part for like me is like I don't have tall enough ceilings to where if I extend my arms up, I'm hitting fucking ceiling fans.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
You probably have 9-foot ceilings. I think we have 8 in my house.
I think we have 9-foot ceilings.
Which, you're sitting down, so.
Yeah, if I try to touch my fan, I'd have to go to my tippy toes.
Yeah, I just can reach up and hit my fan. Without trying.
And Holly has the lower ceiling in her room, and I've hit my hands on that fan so many times, taking my shirt off and on.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I think about that, damn. I got some stuff to tell you offline too, also.
Okay.
Yeah. Forgot. I just remembered. Super proud of my sister and her boyfriend for getting their first house together.
Yeah. And now driving 24 hours.
Go see his mom.
I know what that's
sick.
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what that's like. That was Christmas Day was so fucking long. Like, I got the call at about 4:20 a.m. and we got in the car at noon and drove 12 hours.
Damn. You know, and do you know why I sent that text later on?
Which one?
Like, the one of me being honest with you?
Why?
Holly got super mad at me. She got super mad at me.
Where you said if it was my grandpa, I wouldn't go?
Yeah. Yeah. She got really
Essentially.
She got really pissed at me because I told you before then I gave you like the healthcare response, like, oh, we don't know, it could go either way, and she bitched at me. It was like, that's your friend. You will tell him how you actually feel. I'm like, it's the only time she's ever gotten mad at me my entire life.
And I'll be honest with you, like it's such a hard decision because it's like we had a lot of family relying on us. Like, we're kind of the glue when we go down there because like her mom comes in and it's her dad and her mom, but they're divorced. So the reason they're getting together is because we're there. And same with like her sister coming over, and so there was a lot of external factors that were relying on us. If we didn't go, we ruined a lot of people's Christmas. And so that was kind of a factor for me. But then when they didn't move him, like when we checked him in to the ER, and then they went to a med surge bay.
Yeah, I mean, it was
that
giving all the signs.
That to me was them saying, hey, this is, we're concerned. We need to check him into the hospital, but we're not going to the ICU. Like, this isn't intense. We need to get things better. And I'm not going to lie, I feel like there was some balls dropped.
Oh, there always is.
I feel like, I think there were some bad nurses. Like, I think there was a bad nurse, 100%. And whether it caused everything or not, I'll never know. And the fact that my sister, who is an RN, and my sister-in-law, who is a sonograph echo tech, are probably the two best people that could have been there. Like, I wasn't going to make a difference. I was going to be holding hands.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be the advocate. I wasn't going to be the voice.
Yeah.
That's their area. That's where they know. Like, doing a lot of this other stuff now, that's what I know. I know finances and, selling cars and shit like that. I can deal with that stuff. Healthcare? Fuck you. I'm out. I'm so fucking lost. They're telling us stuff, and I'm looking at my brother, and he's looking at his wife, and they're explaining it to us.
Yeah.
So, but then they were like, yeah, we're going to a med surge floor. We're not going to the ICU. And I'm like, cool, we're hitting the road because he is going to fucking make it, and we are good. It was me trying to be positive too.
And it was something that what ended up putting him over the edge was something that, I mean, should have been caught, yes, but it's not something you were even aware of to begin with.
Well, even my sister-in-law was like really upset about it because she's like, they looked at the vein and right next to it is the artery, and all they had to do was move over a millimeter. And she's like, and if it was me doing it, I would have looked. And I'm surprised that they didn't. But somebody was fucking being lazy and didn't look at the artery and see that the artery was clogged.
It's a cascading event where so many little balls are dropped that it just snowballs into this big thing. And that, unfortunately, is the biggest pitfall of healthcare. It's the burnout and, all that stuff. It makes a huge difference. And but it also just takes one fucking nurse that never really gave up hope, you know what I mean? To completely reverse that change.
Yeah. Well, and I will say the nurse that, was with him at the end was awesome. Like, asked a lot of questions about who he was, things like that, and found out who he was, that he wasn't, just that guy that's been going to the hospital since he was 40 and is now 85, that he was active and all this stuff. And she went and prayed with him at the end and, sat down with him and did the right thing.
Which is nice. That is a comfort for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, even the people that were here, my brother, my sister, they weren't up there at the end.
Oh yeah,
it was what, they rushed up there.
4 a.m.
It was 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
And they rushed up there. They got the call, and I mean, they were there, but they weren't. I just had a longer drive to get there.
You did. Jesus, you did. So I'm gonna.
You want to hear some of the? Can I tell you one cool thing that we did do on the way home?
I would love to hear it.
So, on the way home, it's Christmas Day. We're driving. There's not a ton of places open. Every place we seem to stop. I didn't have much of an appetite. I wasn't ready to eat. My kids obviously wanted to eat.
Yeah, they
so
have.
We'd stop at gas station. And we stopped at one gas station, and my kid's like, I want a hot dog. So we get a fucking roller hot dog. Cool.
Best hot dogs.
My wife, mom of the fucking year, we have all these puke bags that she's bought because our kids get sick. They're kids. After we get this hot dog, we're loading back in the car, and she's like, hey, make sure, where are those puke bags? I want to make sure you have one close. My youngest then proceeds to eat his hot dog, leaves about a quarter of it, is like, I don't want any more of this. Dad, do you want it? I'm like, fuck no, I don't want a quarter of your hot dog. Throw it away. Not 2 minutes later, he has this puke bag and fucking fills it 3/4 of the way up. And it's fucking gas station hot dog with ketchup. It fucking stunk.
Which is the same kid that stunk up your RV, right? The same smell?
Yes. Same smell. And I'm doing 85 because we're supposed to be approaching weather once we're on the Kansas Turnpike, so I'm doing fucking 85. We've got a bag full of vomit, and I'm like, I can't do this fucking smell anymore, and I do not condone littering. But my wife sealed that thing, rolled down the window, and I can imagine what the vehicles behind us saw, because, I mean, she got a perfect throw, didn't hit anything, and we launched a bag of vomit fucking 50 feet into the ditch, doing 85 miles an hour down the fucking Kansas Turnpike.
Don't give a fuck. That's awesome. Just to put into perspective for the audience, I had clinical grade odor neutralizer with me when his kid vomited in the RV, and I sprayed half the bottle, and it did nothing. It did nothing.
Yeah, you were giving that shit a big talk. It did not.
I have seen it clear rooms where people have like shit on the floor and like smeared it on the walls with like a few sprays. It's like has an enzyme in it that breaks down the odor in the air, and it did fucking nothing to your son's vomit smell.
My poor wife on that trip home. My one son drank his entire Gatorade within 5 minutes. My oldest. Of 5 minutes of getting it, so then had to pee within 10 minutes of leaving the gas station, which I wasn't about to stop again. So he peed in that Gatorade bottle, which my wife had to hold. So she held pee, she held puke, and then my one son sharted. This was earlier in the day before we left. So she held all bodily functions throughout the day.
Been there.
It was mom of the year right there.
Oh,
it was quite a day.
And probably didn't complain a bit.
And she let you know that this all happened. Like, she wasn't quiet about it. I mean, when people say didn't complain a bit, I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, no.
I know that those moms are like, motherfucker, you better sit down and shut up. I just got done holding your fucking piss. Which is justified. Do not get me wrong.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Oh, man. That's awesome, though. That's a mom, though. Like, through and through, that's a mom.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a mother. That's a mom.
Well, that's because I was driving and couldn't do it.
That, too. But you're also a dad.
Mm-hmm. That's my job to drive.
Thank God, huh?
24 hours in fucking 3 days.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck all that. But you did what you had to do. Proud
Exactly. We're back. We're back.
We're better than ever. I actually do think I'm off next Thursday as well, so we won't have an interruption in our regularly scheduled events. I'm off.
Maybe we'll even try to find a special guest for y'all.
I have a couple lined up that are interested in joining. So
okay,
but we'll see. I do have one story to leave us off with, though.
Perfect. Let's hear it.
You're not gonna like it.
That's fine.
So it was either Christmas or New Year's. I can't remember what day it was where I was working. And as you know, the place that I work used to be a funeral home before it was turned into an EMS station. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. We got a call, and it was a minor call, and we weren't the crew that was up. But we get up anyways just to, like, hear what it is, see if we all need to go, because we'll roll 2 ambulances deep in case it's a cardiac arrest, right? Extra hands, extra expertise, especially when you're not awake. So it was a minor call. They ended up refusing, but they're like, "No, you guys are good. You can go back to sleep." It's like, "Fuck yeah!" I go and I lay back down in my bed. My boots are literally still on. And I'm just laying there. I'm about to put on Bob's Burgers to go to sleep because that's what I've been doing recently. And then, clear as day, from the foot of my bed, I hear an old man say, "Go back to sleep." Like, as if you were in the same room talking to me. And I don't know if I was just delirious, half asleep, or there's a fucking super spooky ghost. But I took my happy ass out of that room and went into the common room and slept on the chairs. Because it spooked the shit out of me. Like, I heard it. I know I heard it.
Yeah. I worked, the car dealership that I worked at 5+ years ago was a old funeral home actually as well. And
but how many times did you sleep there?
0.
Gotta ask.
I wasn't a fucking raging alcoholic.
Gotta ask Fast Eddie, see if he has any stories.
Yeah, he was usually too drunk. One of our detailers fell asleep up in one of the chairs too. So.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Well, we thank you all so much for joining us on the infamous Sammy's and Beer podcast. We appreciate you all stopping by and listening so much. It has been a fantastic time talking about a recap of 2023, and let's be honest, me just talking about the garbage that was 2023.
But it helps you grow as a person.
Yeah, maybe. So, we thank you all so much. We will be back live again next Thursday if you want to stop by and join us. If you have something to add to the conversation, we are more than happy to respond to you in the chat, both on Twitch and YouTube. And if you're listening during the week on iTunes, we appreciate you so much. Feel free to stop by on a Thursday and say hello. Thomas, final words for the people.
If you DM me your ex's phone number, I will send them a picture of a goose every day for a year.
Every day for a year?
1 year.
That's a lot of goose. That's a lot of geese.
365.
That's a lot of geese. Oh, so something to look forward to, something to think about. Another thing we should possibly look into is Sammy's and Beer breaks bad news, where we'll just call people and give them bad news live on the show.
I'll do it.
Oh yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't know if you've seen any of these, but there's guys that get hired to go into people's funeral and like tell people off at the funeral. That's good stuff. You should look that up. So, all right. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be back better than ever next Thursday, 2024. Toodles.